and then we'll have a toast to poetry in Chinatown and poets. This poem is titled Five Tones. Now in this brightly lit room, waiting has the same sentiment as daydream. Sitting amid things, still, yet quiver with suggestions, sweet with a lump of bitterness. The quiet is broken by the city's soft breaths and the purring of a cat. Pages of neediness urging for a read. Yes? No? It's time for a walk into the labyrinth. The passages, though unknown, have been paved. Thank you. And let's do a toast to poetry and poets and poetry in Chinatown. So we last forever. Cheers. Cheers. And Greg Hahn, thank you so much for being a wonderful curator and host. This is our second year.
Second year.
Second year. Okay, take that.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out to Third Saturday Poetry in Chinatown, the October 2024 edition. This afternoon we have two wonderful features. We have Diego DeLeo and we have Kristina Brown. Looking forward to hearing both of their contributions. We have an open mic, so please, if you haven't signed up, please feel free to sign up to read 3-4 minutes. I guess we have a small crowd. If we get more people, then we'll just keep going, and if not, then we'll just do another round. We'll do a few open mics first, and then we'll have a feature, then a couple more open mics, and then we'll have our second feature. Once you read a poem, you will be able to get a complimentary pen. I got metallic pens and neon pens and all kinds of different colors, etc. And so you'll be able to get one after your poem. And also your cell phones, you might want to turn them down, mute them, vibrate, or turn them off, etc. And that being said, we can get started. I believe our first reader of the afternoon is Bob. Please come up to the stage, Bob, and share your wonderful poetry.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Clara, for setting up this venue here for a number of years now. You can find me over at the Beat Museum a couple days a week. We're over on Broadway and in North Beach, so check us out. We're there Thursday through Monday, 5 days a week now, post-COVID time. So I'm going to read a few to get us started. And this first one is a little series that I started a few years ago. And it's called Poetry is Not a Part-Time Job. Number one. Here I am, right where I belong for once in my life. The inside of your shoe when I walk, the taste of warm beer. And in every direction, I keep losing you, climbing the inside of a bell no one is ringing. 2. Words and more words, incurable as love. And in me, a string of voices still worshiping the same doubts. Mine and yours, and I'm here to disprove them all. I must disappoint you. 3. I find words that never leave me. Yours, I create nothing. 4. Is anything true? Is love? Can I even trust my own words? Sometimes when it gets late, it seems the only thing I have left are words, and they fail me too. 5. I dip my pen in your ink. Day or night, it doesn't matter, and we can never get enough of each other. 6. I sink into myself like sand, learning your secrets. Only some of the footprints are mine. And 7, poetry and life, an empty grave, your breath in my mouth. Poetry is not a part-time job. I want to read one now for Jack Hirschman. He was our poet laureate, great friend, a mentor to Diego, and big influence on my work. This is called If I Was a Poet, for Jack Hirschman. If I was a poet, you would not know my name. I would have no address, no phone number or email, and no retirement plan. If I was a poet, life would not be easy, but I would prefer it this way. If I was a poet, I would speak everyone's language, and every city would be my home. If I was a poet, I would listen to everyone's story, and their story would be my story too. If I was a poet, I would speak for all the rivers and trees, and the sun would shine for everybody. If I was a poet, nothing would change, but the world would be a better place. If I was a poet, I would have many friends, but they could not help me. If I was a poet, I would spend more time alone. If I was a poet, time would be my biggest enemy. If I was a poet, this would be my only job. If I was a poet, I would finish this poem, and this poem would be truly proletarian. For Jack. And one final one I wrote for Diego, who has inspired me over these years. He's been turning out, he's quite a prolific poet these days in a number of books. This is for Diego. Diego. Saw a poet walking down the street the other day with a steady gaze and a noble face, walking calmly as if he was from a faraway place in a faraway time. His name was Diego, and I didn't know him very well, but a fine poet whose words spoke a simple truth, and that was to never deny who you are and what you feel. A poet with an open heart and a sharp mind. A poet whose first love was a woman who became his muse. And what a lonely world it would be without her. For Diego.
Very cool. Thank you, Bob. All right, next up we have Sarah Menifee, and followed by Elizabeth Bailey.
Thank you, Greg and Clara and everyone here for keeping this going. This is my favorite place to be. Also, thank you for the event at Burton Beckett for the palette for the Mideast Children's Fund, right? So there was a wonderful reading, and I didn't get my shit together to sign up for that, but I really enjoyed listening, but I did write a poem that day. Let's see if I can see it. I did write a poem that day, so I'll read the poem to the subject. This is called For the Murdered Children. I could not, because what can be said about the mass murder of children? Dumb words stumble and fall, then get up with bleeding knees. To what destination? There is no promised land, only this earth on which these crimes that murder the future for everyone pile up with innocent limbs.
Sarah,
Oh, yeah, oh, let me see, oh, magenta.
Elizabeth Bailey is up next.
Well, this right, I got a sign in.
is this all right? You can hear me? Yeah? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
This one's called Nothing Particular. Take nothing for granted. All is transient. Details stand in brief relief. In contrast with a plane of patience and observant awareness. This is Conqueror. We learned the bones of survival from soil and water, adapted nature's tissues for clothing and shelter. Then money became the means of survival. Capitalism put paid to all other options, glorifying the fight, breeding greed, relentless blind ambition to never stop trying, to work harder, to build callous white male individuality. Entitlement of power and heartless wealth. Capitalism has conquered all, including itself. Truth of truths. Nothing is a singularity of all that exists. Everything is a singular existence. Each entity acts on a continuum of transformation. Regard the chronicity of now. Can you sense the doer of each action? Can you do this without labels and possession? Teaching moments present in each consciousness. This is the truth of truths. And the last one, it's called The Teacher, or hammer space, which, if you're familiar with that term, it's sort of from the cartoons, Warner Brothers. It's that phenomenon when somebody needs something and they can suddenly pull it out of a bag. Whatever they need appears. The teacher. Sit until the quiet enters, a plain laid bare. In this stillness, necessity lives. In the darkness, all possibilities hide in waiting. With skillful awareness, invite the teacher. Thank you.
Before we introduce our first speaker, Diego Leo, I'm going to share a poem that was shared during the Poets for Palestine event at Bird and Beckett Monday, and was very successful. Some of the poets here participated, and we really appreciate that. We were able to raise about $2,000 for the cause for the Middle Eastern Children's Alliance. So it was a very, very memorable day. And I'd like to share a poem that I read that D.L. Lang submitted. She wasn't there, but I read this on her behalf. I'd like to share it. It's entitled Palestine. Entire cities lay in rubble. Universities are obliterated. Cemeteries are desecrated. People are unhoused and starving. Hospitals lack medicine. Entire families murdered. The whole world cries out, but the bombs don't stop. Imagine this was your city, your university, your hospital, your neighborhood, your house, your culture, your land, your history, your friends, your family, your children, your entire life being obliterated before your eyes. How dare you support such evil? There is no act perpetrated by a small militant group that justifies destroying the lives of millions of working class people and pushing them out of their ancestral home. I side with the college kids who oppose war, who oppose mass killing and punishing civilians, who oppose torture and mass incarceration, who oppose unjust laws and imperialism, and wish to defund the global murder machine. Judaism taught me to care for the stranger, to pursue peace and justice and free the captive. I pray for a world where none are oppressed, where war is a nightmare of the past and everyone is housed and well fed. There is nothing anti-Jewish about having a heart. End the decades of ongoing Nakba. Peace, freedom, equality, and justice for the Palestinian people.
Well done.
Palestine by D.L. Lang. And now I'd like to introduce first of our two features of the afternoon. In the words of Diego de Leo, at 17, wearing my older brother's clothes, preparing to venture to the new world, leaving my family, my horse and plow behind, uneducated, immature, bent but not broken by natural or man-made laws. I endured. Now, almost 70 years later, my past years well spent, and my future years ahead looking forward. I'd also like to share a brief statement by Jack Hirschman. Diego de Leo began writing at the age of 77. We are receptors of a miracle of life's second innocence with these superbly simple, wise, and elemental poems. Please welcome to the stage, Diego de Leo.
I walk slow because there is a reason. I'm 9 years old.
Yeah.
9 years old. Please, I'm asking you politely not to applause while I read, because that will take my attention from what I'm reading, because I have about 30, 40 short poems to read. But that will take the half hour allowed to me.
20 minutes, yeah.
Yes.
I'll let
Give you a 5-minute cue. Let you know when you have 5 minutes left.
You start when the time is over, you call the police. Okay.
Well, speak right into the mic, Diego.
So
we can hear you.
I was going to read what you in my book. When you read it, now I don't need to. Now I can go home. Okay, now let me see what I can find. It's an editor, Elijah says that Diego tended to write for the unacademic, the poor, the down and out, and the broken heart. Which that's where you can find me. So let me see what else. Where I'm going with this. I'm going to read this my signature, my poem that pertains just about to everybody. I read this before, I'm going to read it again. Refugees, amici, friends, immigrant, welcome to the land of our broken hearts. Your heart is, for different reasons, or the same as mine, broken. Did you embark with a bag full of clothes, papers, and dreams? Did you leave your family, friends, a part of yourself behind? I did. Did you run into a wall of discrimination? I did. Is your accent an impediment to a job you are qualified for? Mine is still. Sins of my ancestors are recounted to me. We immigrants, refugees, are like seeds spread by the wind and dropped in fertile lands. We become temperate, resilient civilian soldiers to the common good under a new flag. Another heart grows in us, working on minimum wages or less. Our job isn't an important one, but well done is important. All in all, our destiny is a benevolent one. Many perish in desert, seas, wars. In the process, we grow wiser, hopeful. Quoting George Santayana, also an immigrant, "It was a cloudy day by brightening." The life of an immigrant isn't easy. When I say here that I came in this country at 17, couldn't speak English. In fact, sometimes I feel I don't speak English well even now. But I'll do the best I can for the occasion. So this will show where I work. I didn't work couldn't speak English. I couldn't get a job.
Is that you?
That's me work as a
Nice.
laborer. Work with fish with your arm, and not with the brain. Well, I had it, but I didn't use it. I like this one I framed because this is like one of my child. My first poem, Sequoia. Sequoias. Strolling through Sequoia National Park, among the 1,000-year-old sequoias, I followed the trail made by the millions of visitors who came to this garden of natural beauty. The huge trunks of these trees display their power in the space they occupy high in the sky. Their longevity stirs my sense, the imagination. These sequoias, majestic as they are, witness the turbulent events of this world, yet remain unaffected by them. They have scars to prove. They have scars to prove. Wind tempests, fires. They have scars to prove it yet. Their life story is written in wood, their own. These living ornaments of the world, like anything alive, are not in a hurry to be replaced.
Good.
Now, I'm doing for the small stuff. Who I am. Dear friend, as you know, I tend to write for the unacademic, the poor, down and out, the broken heart, the lonely, and for those who haven't been wronged, and for those who, without rancor, courageously keep on working for a better tomorrow. It is true to who I am. It's okay, that's fine. You can approach when I leave, you can approach when I go home. Okay. The unfinished symphony. Having shed beautiful fantasy, no longer I wipe tears from poetry's books, for self-inflicted wounds I care no more. No more sad, dark songs for me. Like the tree branches naturally bent toward the light, I too crave. During the night, surrounded by my yesterday, I wait for dawn. Our gracious moon, lit by the sun, shares her light with us. Oh heaven, our lives an unfinished symphony. If there are any blank pages left for me, I will fill them with a pleasant melody. Time will come. Time will come if we are lucky to be old, very old, and you feel the end is near, and you need to give away the little things you treasure, work of arts, precious books, or little money to those who have helped you along with the way, or offered you a simple smile or goodwill when you need it the most. So, if an old man approaches you with a gift in his hand, don't be surprised, much less offended. He only wants to be your friend. Wildflowers. In the midst of life absurdity, wildflowers grow for reasons of their own, where least expected, by river's edge, on tree trunks, on the battlefield of the buried, and grow without care. Only needed a bit of light and moisture from the air. Remember Wordsworth. I remember hiking on a warm day in late May near a California meadow with a multitude of colorful flowers, irresistible to my eyes, stopped me in a wonder and delight, giving the flowery field a long and repeated glance that set my heart in a joyful dance. Remember Wordsworth and his work on a such a day. Yeah, he wrote, I walk like a cloud. The favorite poem. So, beauty and truth. Beauty and truth live under the same roof, inseparable as day and night. As a perpetual wave coming in the distant shore, as their music and poetry, the poetry and music are the same. To please our organized soul, as seen and heard in the natural world. Poets and composers are isolated in their own iconic work, but never alone, giving pleasure to people known as strangers alike, all over the world in the name of beauty and truth. Pure love. Some times ago, I received some lovely lines on a card by my precious granddaughter. Grandpa, she says, I love you like a mother loves her child. I really do. When I feel a bit low, I reread the lovely cards. I cherish a pure love in every word. I really do. Giving. It is a great feeling to be giving from a sincere heart. It doesn't matter to who or what it is. By giving with no strings attached is a great feeling for all those involved. To my muse, you are the song I can sing, the lovely poem I can write, the Mona Lisa with the soul. You are the red death flower, not named yet. I call it Amorosa. In my lonely way, the thought of you keep me company and warm in the cold winter day. I can't wait to meet you and read this line to you heart to heart. The knock. Remember the cloudy day. No, what's the day? Was the night? Remember the cloudy night of some time ago. There was a knock at my door where I live on the ground floor. I heard the knock at my door where I live on the ground floor. I hesitated to answer out of fear. After a while, I opened the door. There was nobody there. Who could it possibly have been? A vagrant looking for shelter, or a child lost, a woman fleeing an unhappy home? Much time has passed since, and that often I think, if I had ever answered the door for the knock, I could have helped someone in need, only if. What everyone is. You ever been called a poet? In your heart, you know, you haven't committed anything other than what is necessary to maintain yourself. You don't need it to prove, say, or write anything. You are like a letter's end, unopened all your life. Your life is written in your eyes, in the wrinkle on your face. You suddenly realize everyone is the story, everyone is the poet. This hungry heart of mine. Oh, this hungry heart of mine, rich with desires, satisfied, play havoc in my life. Even as the beauty of my dream came true in the name of red roses, wine and songs, followed by nights of love without ends. Remembering now only poetry, those days were long and the night were too short. This hungry heart unsatisfied wants more and not more, just more love. Autumn leaves. The fallen leaves of autumn have had their place in the sun, braved the wind and the rain, now turning yellow, red and brown, making a mosaic on the ground. No longer being fed by Mother Earth to live on their own time, waving goodbye while they're falling peacefully on the waiting ground. My therapist. I told my shrink, Doc, lately it seemed to me that I like everybody. What's wrong with me? He said, don't worry. When you get my bill, you'll be back to normal. Okay. Making friends. When I feel lonely and blue, I stroll into North Beach to talk to someone, giving away a few of my poems to strangers I meet, making new friends, and then retire to my place, feeling lonely no more. I do that every day.
5 minutes, Diego.
5 minutes? Okay. Call the police. Poetry is a serious affair, not to be taken too seriously. The impertinent question, very impertinent to me, anyway. In my old age, I looked a bit younger. Saturday night, I went into a bar in North Beach for a glass of red. A beautiful young lady gave me the eye and sat next to me. We shot a bit. I bought her a drink and then another. And then we shot, and we shot some more. And she asked me this impertinent question, are you good in bed? I replied, very good. And she asked me, how so? I sleep all the time. Longevity. Longevity is our goal. And when the body begins to wane, prone to sorrow and pain, the passage of time is not a foe, but a friend. Their hearts will know. Keep your children at hand in life. In life, only work done with love is worth the strive. Through the stormy days, will make you stronger in many ways. Enrich your life with the joy they give, a joy you will live and relive. Although some days they will leave your nest, their heart will know you did your best. And if you are still above the ground, no doubt they will be coming around, not to bring you gold or some pricey gem, but to give the love you gave to them. Forever. The sun will shine, the cloud will roll, sea waves will dance, rain will fall, spring flowers will bloom, wind will blow, rivers will flow, nightingales will sing, rain or shine, love is forever. Listen. Listen to the wind passing through trees whistling, to the rain splashing everywhere, to the rivers rushing to the sea, to the waves coursing the shore. The elemental story tells no lie. Listen. One more. Silence. In a world where silence is golden, as they say, only music and poems without words are heard, and the sound of the sea coming to meet the shore. A nightingale singing, and human heart singing their own songs. Smiling children evoking the good side of human existence, and the tragedy of premature death speaking volume in silence. Take it back.
Thank you, Diego.
I read one because I'm a communist.
Yeah.
And that's for you. Thank you. Another hand for Diego DeLeo.
Nice job. Okay.
Okay. Now, next poets we have coming up will be Rocio, Yolanda, and Milo. Probably best to just leave it on the
This is a new poem, Flying Ravens Desert. Tears fall from my eyes, mixed with drops of mist, a peaceful sadness. As my father dies, I am dying with him. He is frightened of death. I am frightened to stand alone. We are like that way, both terrified of death, for death has been hard on us. My angels are with me, comforting me, telling me I can never be alone. I prayed for my father's angels to comfort him, ease his fear. Last night in a dream, I walked through a desert with my father. In a misty desert, I held his hand, helped him to steady his feet so he would not stumble. We walked past nopales and magueyas towards the light of the setting sun. Thank you. And this is also a new poem. It's called Rust Autumn. A sun descends as a giant ruby grapefruit into a sea. I never knew my autumn would bring a poetry bouquet, poetry readings raining as stars in the Milky Way. I never knew my autumn would bring heartbrokenness, my dear brother Herbert turning into a ghost. Long ago, Herbert standing next to a goblin pumpkin, asking for Halloween candy, dressed as a ghost, a white bed sheet over his head. Hard to believe Herbert is not here, gathering wildflowers for me in the big park. Hard to believe Herbert is not here, handing me an amber honey jar, wanting me to taste sweetness of life. There aren't going to be a lot of people at my funeral, Herbert said to his friend Charlie a week before he died. My swan brother, White Wing, is flying now in an autumn sky as one of the once princes in a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale we both loved. Thank you.
Yolanda's up next, followed by Milo.
I was going to read a 10-minute poem that I wrote last night, but I'm going to wait till after the elections instead. I wrote this poem that I had started writing before I wrote the poem I wrote last night. And I don't have a title for it, but it's Notice at 24th and Mission, Taqueria San Jose is going to close along with next door's BMO Bank of Montreal. Internet news said that approximately 106 apartment in the building total to take place where Taqueria San Jose pays rent for customers, mainly Latinx in the Mission. Gentrification. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce opposes California's Proposition 5. The only way to build low-income, moderate-income apartment buildings is by building expensive size condominiums, market rate housing. The restaurant Taqueria San Jose will be replaced by 106 apartments, 6 low-income units, 6 moderate-income units, the rest market rate, according to internet news. Same as in Potrero Hill, where tenants in government housing projects have no choice than to move to other locations with help from the city of San Francisco. The land of Potrero Hill is solid rock, and underneath the ground will withstand earthquakes. Out with people of color, out with the poor, the working class. Where are they going to go? To add to it real ID. What if only one resident can provide proof of rent or residential address? What about the spouse, the grown kids? Started by former president along with Muslims, immigrants ban. Which current president rescinded but not real ID? Alternative, abuse stay put in California, don't fly within USA. If you are a US citizen, including a naturalized born citizen born in other countries, American citizens, how about green card holders? Project 2025 Trump's cabinet fascism could mean the deportation of DACA, Dreamers, TPS, temporary protected status, green card holders, U.S. naturalized citizens. The Green Party present campaign slogan is, forget the lesser of two evils. How about voting for the greater good? I'm not voting for Harris. She's sending arms to Israel if she gets elected. I'm voting for ideals. And if Trump wins, I'm ready to revolt.
Thank you, Yolanda. Milo is next.
Hi, thank you. Diego de Leo, whenever I hear a non-native English speaker or read non-native English writer, I'm always humbled and astonished because I'm still struggling with my native language of English. Anyway, this is, I'm going to read two pieces. The first piece is going to be published in my book, Miss Experience White, about banishing the demon of white supremacy. It's coming out later this year. And this is the prologue. So, in 2016, the reptiles ate my cousins. But that was Florida. I thought I was safe here. Sweeping. Clear a space. Sweep in a circle outwards. Go. No. Truth is always in front. Love and courage on either side. Justice steers from behind. Reason above and the ground always changing, because I really do contain multitudes. This next poem is going to be published in Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts, Volume 2. That's also going to be later this year. It's called Spinning. Spinning, spinning, revolving, revolving in the liquid core of the earth. I'm flying through the fire of the ore, ether, taking the eye out, finding spirit in life. Life is but a journey to death. Death, rebirth, transformation, transportation. Where to go next? Next, get in line. Line, circle, circle, dance. Dance in balance. Balance each thought against its exact opposite. When I was a child, I drew spirals over and over again. Why? There's so much to learn and there's not enough time. Time. I'm 64 and I don't know what that means. Means suddenly I feel sad. I must fear dying. We all fear dying. I'm floating. I'm sinking. I'm borne upwards. It's all the same. Same. I'm smiling. Smiling, what else? I'm okay. Okay now. Now. If I stay in the now always, always I'll be okay. Okay, is this true? True. Thank you. Got a pink one last time. Get this one.
Right, thank you. J.J. Rush. Yes. I said you're next. I was telling you you're next. You not ready?
Whoa. I guess I could be
I
ready.
can call the next person. I'll call the next person.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. And how about Anna Burke? Anna?
Hi. This is called Biophilia. This is not a museum of art. It is the morning after Christmas, and this is an example of the merits of being a visitor while the wood's grounds are still brightly cool still, and not a museum of art. Apart from the trail is one small meadow, slick fallen pines and mossy bits. And it is an example of grand urges that shoot from the verges of the rose garden at Lynn Woods. So of itself, I never tried to be a museum of art. I have come in with any number of internal reserves, which today I don't, but shoot, there's always examples of unworked urges. Cedar trees counsel some sort of ancient roaming, to stay, to get on going, for a watchful grief. That is all becoming the rich understory to the Museum of Art. Or but one example of suspended debris of a coherent earthly faith.
All right. Now, J.J. Rush, are you ready to take the stage?
Yeah, I'll have to sing a song though.
Whatever you need to do. Got about 4 minutes, so good.
I don't know what happened. I thought I had everything already arranged. But at any rate, a song looked like it'll do us all pretty good, huh? Sugar, I call my baby my sugar. There is no maybe about sugar, the sugar baby of mine. Funny, she never begged for my money. All she would give me was honey, the sugar baby of mine. And she is sweeter than any honey to me. That's why I'm crazy about sugar, the sugar baby of mine. Thank you.
That was short and sweet. All right. Well, I think it's time for the second of our afternoon features. Kristina Brown. Kristina Brown, artist, writer, poet. Her words explore the boundaries of love's power. The author of 2 chapbooks,
She edited the international anthologies Storm Warning, Poets for the Planet, Healing a Fractured World, and For All. A childhood in Japan and Okinawa infused her with an appreciation for imperfect beauty. Her latest piece, On the Bus with Neely, is at brooklynrail.org in memoriam, so you can get that online. Her unique perspective blends the exquisite with the profound, much like her preferred libations, pink Meyer lemonade and champagne. She invites readers to look through the cracks that let the light in. Please welcome Kristina Brown to the stage.
I'd like to begin by thanking you for being here and by thanking Greg and Clara for making this possible. I'm going to begin with a piece that is in the shape of a persimmon, a hamachi persimmon. I don't know if you can see it. Season of persimmon. Persimmon on my palm, smooth and freckled, gold to orange to almost red, ripe, tapered persimmon. Late fall to the winter solstice, the season of persimmon is upon us. Of harvests and deaths, very sweet, but also tart and sometimes sad. My next piece, dynamite. Dynamite, I say. Other poets say, knock him dead. He totally killed. He was the bomb. We're all celebrating our friend's triumph. Exactly, I say, and I mean it. But then I ask myself, is that what I want to do? Do I want to kill? When I read out loud, what do I hope? Yes, I do want to be dynamite. I want to fly, go on a trip, take you with me. I want to blow your mind, but only in a good way. I want to wow you, take you somewhere unexpected, to lift you up over these jumbled rooftops, these glass and steel towers, soar into the heavens, feel the rush together, feel the pulse of the word, the power of speech. I want to see the world new, make the world new, bring you with me. Orion rises, 3 a.m., high desert. The stars turn around the North Star. Back at the camp, there are guitars and sacraments. But a few steps in, silence. Relative silence. Whisper of wind, small rustle of feet, snake skin. Walk in slowly. Walk in slowly. See a tiny fox, or is it coyote? Ghost away, white, silver, gone. Blasted pine,
famous in photos 1,000,000 times, surprises, never seen before, transfixes, perfect, stopped black. The night rises, strong scent of sage, stone, spice, mysterious flower. My next piece is called In Gaza. When I wrote this in the spring, I did not imagine the horror to come. In Gaza, on the screen in front of me, at our breakfast table, as we eat omelets and biscuits and green salad with tomatoes, and the rich smell of my parents' coffee rises into the brisk morning air. Hundreds of children with bowls in their hands crowd together, with big eyes and hollow cheeks. They push and shove, fight for food. Their little arms are skinny as sticks. Most of them manage to have their bowls filled with porridge, but some of the smaller ones keep being pushed aside. The children are all bigger and older than I am. I'm worried for all of them. I ask, where are their parents? Why aren't they feeding them? My father licks his lips. Oh no, this is going to be a bad one. Something I'll wish wasn't true, like all those people who were murdered in World War I, and the Holocaust, and the colonization of the Americas. He begins, sometimes people use food as a weapon against everyone in a country. But they don't want to be accused of murdering children. So they allow a little food in. You mean if the adults don't or can't do what the people blocking the food want, everyone could starve to death? He nods. I see a country with countless tables. In every city and town and village, regiments of tables are set with white tablecloths, and plates and cups, forks and knives and spoons. But when the people sit down, there is no food. Everywhere, children begin to cry, to wail they're hungry. The tables turn into legions of rectangular white stones, cover miles of hillside. I say, huge numbers of people could die, like World War I, but without the trenches. My father nods. Don't the killers know how wrong they are? How will they ever live down killing all those people? My father's eyes burn. They think the end justifies the means. I gasp. They're evil. Something bad should happen to them. My father nods. Maybe, but be careful. Don't become what you fight against. So now, I march against the genocide in Gaza. I write another letter to a politician. I write these words and read them now. Next, he is my darkness. He is my darkness, Caliban and Ariel, pale and paler, ivory and cream, complements and opposites, the same and different. He is the stronger, richer brew, formed in the alembic of his passion above his fire, by his heat. I intoxicate, make madness. He is made of stone and air, the afterbirth of infants who died being born, his lost brothers, except for a miracle. I am made of air and water, the hearts of the infants who barely lived, the ones who fought. Surrounded by light, he is filled with darkness. Surrounded by darkness, I am filled with light. I am his light. Lead him far out, deep into his own dark water. No one can see to the bottom of his soul. It is too black. I am the transparent infinite. My soul, my light-filled depths could hide anything. Loved him. I loved him like sunrise, like birdsong, like lightning, like water bubbling in from the earth, like the bending of my bones when I leap. I loved him like the color blue, every blue, like red, like summer, like the sun, like fire, like the dream you can't remember that leaves a feeling of delight. I loved him like light on a wheeling hawk's wing, like the turning night sky between midnight and 3, like cool water, like sleep, like the breaking surf, the turning tide, like wine, like electricity in the air, like every updraft. I loved him like night, like day, like hot, like cold, like down, like up, like, I loved him like, I loved him. I loved. Waves. This is written for Bixby Canyon and the Bixby Canyon Bridge. Waves. Waves crash. Big, huge, full moon rises yellow under a long silver bridge. Air rolling. Thick fog, moving with the waves, in harmony, swirls up the stream, magic valley of the mountain center. Waves crash through the earth, with the earth, into my body, perfect, resonant attunement. Breathe, fill with everything. Breathe, sweet voices, whole, all, body, inside, everywhere, begins to move with the waves. Out to sea, beyond resting. Long ago, one moonless, starless night, while sailing across the bay, a 21-year-old friend decided to go swimming, to let go. Before any of us could hold him, he was off the boat and into the ice-cold bay. We circled and searched, called for help, and filled the water with boats. Searchlights cut across the waves. He was not seen again, ever. The sea did not surrender him, give him back to us. Radiance. Radiance. Once, long ago, for almost 2 long weeks, I thought about jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. I didn't want to kill myself. I didn't want to die, but I did want to leap into the radiance. I'd taken a walk across the bridge. When I looked out to sea, I was lifted into ecstasy. The line between the air and the water drew me. The radiance called to me. I knew if I jumped, even if I pointed my toes, the bridge was too high. I would be broken in pieces. I had never been so tempted to do something that might so obviously kill me. But the spell was strong. I avoided driving on certain streets so I wouldn't see the bridge, even from a distance. When the number 1 foghorn lowed, I tried not to think of the swirling, radiant fog under the bridge. I decided to talk to a psychologist friend. I told him the whole story. As I began, he looked very concerned for a moment. Then he smiled. I thought, what? I'm telling you something very serious. I went on to the first moment of the call. My friend burst out laughing, and he laughed until tears ran down his cheeks. I looked at him in complete consternation. As he dried his eyes and apologized, he said, I know you. I was pretty certain you were in no danger of jumping. But now, I'm certain you're safe. I asked, how can you be so sure? No one has ever jumped off the bridge facing the sea. Never. They always face the city. Never? I asked. Never, ever, he answered. I said, but I do feel a call. My friend said, just to be safe, stay off the bridge until it fades. And in a few days, it did. Now, whenever I see the bridge, I think of the light. Feel the joy. And this is second to last. We love the sea, Ocean Beach. Water, salt water, is the stuff of our bodies, the foundation of all life on the planet, the engine of the air, our atmosphere and weather. We love the sea. We love to swim and float and sail and surf and dive. But we dare not dive too deep or swim out too far. We cannot breathe water, cannot drink the sea. We're safer on the beach or at the top of a mountain looking down at the sparkling waves. To go out to sea without a boat is to invite death. This sunny afternoon at Ocean Beach, sailboarders and surfers skitter across the wide water. We play with the forces of the sea and the wind. But the rip currents flow fast, sweep someone away almost every year. unknowing waders in 1 foot of water, and experienced surfers who knew all the breaks are pulled away, out to sea, and only sometimes rescued or swim free. The ocean, the sea, can be like love, any kind of love. You don't know how dangerous it is until you're in too deep to easily withdraw. The ocean can be like love in the best way, too. It can bear you up above and beyond all expectation, lift you into the sun and air, allow you to breathe and to feel free to be yourself. Or like love, the sea can smash you down to the lowest depths, never let you be seen again, grind your corpse for fish food. How any voyage goes depends on accurate information, good judgment, and luck. We don't want to be like Shelley and sail into a storm, end up drowned. But sometimes we must fly into the tempest. To wait is to be smashed to pieces in port, never to take off again. So, grab your flotation device, your giant pink plastic flamingo, or whatever form your courage takes, and leap into the sea of love and life. But take care. The surf's always up, and rip currents hide everywhere. And last, flower. Flower. In the dim twilight, the scent of the star lilies calls us. The flyers and the levitators, the slim ones, lithe with flex, and our ethereal brethren, the floaters on the breeze in iridescent bubbles. The lilies say, come, make love with us, be deep in ecstasy, intoxicated by our sweetness. The wind in the leaves whispers secrets, mysteries, sings to us, weaves an arabesque among the boulders of the murmuring stream, leads us onward, higher. The rising moon is bright, dapples the forest floor with silver, lights up the night for our big eyes. In the grove, when I arrive, surrounded by perfume, the first of us are here before me, lounge on huge freckled white petals and dark green leaves, lean against giant fluorescent green pistils, stroke the yellow heads of stamens, smear golden shining powder on the centers of lilies, on themselves, on each other, on me. Our skin is soft, electric. We breathe deeply, swoon with delight, feel the simultaneous beat of all our hearts, the energy of the earth rising, flowing through the lilies, through us all. We all glow, move, twist, leap, sway, dance together, make complex patterns of embrace and release.
Kristina.
Oh, sorry. My continuing ability to write. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, another hand for Kristina Brown. All right. Now I'll read the next, the list of open mic people we have. We have Alan, Alfie, Richard, Inga, Kai, Tyree, Charles, and Cesar. Anyone did I not get?
Is my name right?
You read.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You
No.
sang.
Huh?
You sang. You performed.
I did?
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Alan Harris is up next.
Wait a minute. Hey, I know what I did. And you had open slot there. And I put my name there, but
There was a time when all you had to do to get into heaven was to be a good person and believe in God. But then over time, God grew tired of being the Almighty and decided to sell heaven to Elon Musk. And Elon Musk immediately set about attempting to monetize the process of getting into heaven, subverting its original intention by making it possible for those who can afford it to simply buy their way into heaven, regardless of their level of grace and humility and devotion to God, turning what was once a paradise that inspired mortals to be decent to each other in hopes of gaining entry to it, into a place where those who had benefited from its former policy of merit-based admittance by living lives of exemplary behavior were suddenly forced to have to coexist with wealthy sociopaths and psychotics who, not too long ago, wouldn't have had a chance in hell getting into heaven. There was immediately a mass resignation of angels of the seraphim variety, since their main purpose was to praise God, and while Musk offered them the opportunity to stay on and praise him, they just couldn't bring themselves to do it. And a mass firing by Musk of the cherubim, those adorable little four-winged chubbos who the bastard fired just to see if he could make them cry. And while there was talk among some of heaven's longtime inhabitants of leaving heaven, it remained just talk. After all, where would they go? Purgatory? By its very nature, purgatory is a temporary stop. The average Christian only spends 1,000 years in purgatory. So the only eternal alternative would be hell. But unfortunately, you can't live in hell without being subjected to a certain amount of damnation. And that was just not an option. So no one left heaven, even though Elon Musk was basically turning it into hell light.
Wow.
One more. Trump. It's the perfect name for this particular product. Blunt, rude, ugly, rhymes with bump and lump and hump and stump and grump and slump and thump and dump and rump and chump. It sounds like the name of a product that you wouldn't want to buy because its name is so repellent to you that you find yourself wondering who the marketing hacks were who came up with this repellent name. Although you can reason that it can be argued that the product given this name is itself so repellent that the name is appropriate. While at the same time, this product called Trump has proven that repellence is in the eye of the beholder, that one person's repellence is another person's deification. And it is at those who deify it that the marketing of this product is aimed, which is why it continues to be called Trump and not something seemingly more appealing to the general public, like Puppy, Donald J. Puppy. No, Trump is the name because it fits.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
All right, thank you. All right. Up next. I don't know if there's gonna be time. I don't know. All right, we've got Alfie up next, and Richard and Inga.
Oh,
Alfie.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I don't do poetry. I do what I call living word. So which means basically after I write it, I only read it one time and then I burn it. So I don't hold on to it. This was inspired by Inga. So it's called Inga. I wanna just kind of explain a little bit. First, I don't know how to spell her name. It could be spelled differently, but I spelled it I-N-G-A.
That's legal.
That's
very,
legal?
Very legal name, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so I, inspiring, N, naturally, G, gorgeous, A, awesome.
Ah, yeah.
Inspiring, naturally, gorgeous, awesome. That's what Inga is.
Ah.
So now the poem. Inspired by a naturally gorgeous, awesome woman. Here, now I stand. No plan to perform or entertain was upon my mind, but now my mind alive. This non-Buddhist monkey mind striving to awaken the inner me. The only enemy is me. I've been inspired to scribe and burn this living word by a woman whom I feel burns brightly from her truth, from her inner spark. Inga, this is inspired by and dedicated to you.
Hey. Thank you.
I'm gonna burn it.
No, you burn it.
No, you burn it.
Oh,
This is
fine.
yours.
Fine, I'll burn it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Richard, and then Inga.
I think Richard is not here.
Richard's not here? Well, I guess Inga's up next. Because that
Right
works
on.
well.
I swear it was not planned.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Richard is here. Oh.
No, that's not Richard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Charles. Okay. So today I am gonna read a. It's actually a song, and I really like this song because it's like a very metaphorical about relationships and how sometimes it'll turn into two warring states. And it's called Two Koreas. And there was no official translation, so I just sat down and I translated it, so it's gonna be kind of wonky and funky. But I'm gonna read the translation first, and then I'm gonna sing a song, I guess.
Did you write it?
No, I did not actually. It's by a band, a one-man band, and it's called Satan Bakes Pancakes.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So this is here it goes. Two Koreas. I never finished what I started. Thought you could fix me, but it didn't happen. Euphoria changed to sadness as usual. Love is an oxide, time is an antioxidant. Love is Cobain, time is a shotgun. We don't got much left in us. I'm Van Gogh, you're Van Gogh's ear. We're two Koreas, you're south and north. We aim at each other now, once we were whole. You're south and north, we're two Koreas, now shoot me down. A barrage of threats and awkward fights, shooting me down with your missiles. And to you, flying almost the same, on one of them, read a message from me. It's about me not wanting this war. It's about no one being at fault. It's about the fact that there is a limit for everything, no matter what you want, no matter what I say. We're two Koreas, I'm north, you're south. We shoot each other with our missiles. You're south, I'm north, shoot me down, come on. And in Russian, it's gonna be все дела заканчивал на полпути максимум, думал, что с тобой исправлюсь, но вышло так себе. Эйфория сменится печалью, и так всегда. Любовь оксид, время антиоксидант, любовь цой, время Икарус, нам с тобой немного осталось. Нам с тобой осталось немного. Я Ван Гог, ты ухо Ван Гога. Мы две Кореи, Ты юг, я север, друг друга вцелим, а были целым. Ты юг, я север, мы две Кореи, стреляй скорее. Череда угроз и скандалов неловких, и в меня летят твои боеголовки, и к тебе летят такие же почти. На одной из них послание прочти. Оно о том, что я не хочу войны. Оно о том, что нет здесь ничьей вины. О том, что для всего в жизни есть предел. Как бы ты ни хотела, как бы я ни хотел. Мы две Кореи, ты юг, я север, друг друга целим, а были целым. Ты юг, я север, мы две Кореи, стреляй скорее. Бадум-тс. Окей. Oh yeah! Give me that.
Yes.
Give me.
Well, you're brilliant. Stand out on the women's
Kai.
words. Yeah.
Hi,
Sorry,
yeah.
this is my first time here. I didn't know this is for the poets to.
Oh, so,
Yeah, I didn't bring it.
oh, okay. Okay, well, next
Oh,
time.
thank you.
Next time. Well, thank you. All
Have
right.
your chance to sing.
Next up will be Tyree Pond, who happens to be my son.
My voice is a little messed up, so I'm really not gonna sing it. But it's like,
You can do it.
nah, it's a song that I wrote because I'm like an aspiring singer songwriter. So I'm gonna do it like in the poetry form, like that, you know. All right, so this is the hook. It says, "I have loved you for so long. I finally found the courage to let you know that you're beautiful, and I can't see you alone. Too many times I let you go, slip right through my hands just to capture my soul. You're beautiful, and I just want you to my own. I seen you day after day, thought you would never say yes, covered my bravery instead of taking a chance. So many days I seen you walk by, too frightened to even say hi. Your beauty had me paralyzed, had me petrified. I wished upon many a stars that I seen fall from the sky, that maybe one day I could make you mine. You seem so surreal to me, an angel sent to fulfill my dreams, make them reality, no longer fantasy. I have loved you for so long, I finally found the courage to let you know that you're beautiful, and I can't see you alone. Too many times I let you go, slip right through my hands just to capture my soul. You're beautiful, and I just want you to my own."
All right. Now we have Charles Curtis Blackwell. Hey, Charles.
I'm loud now. I might not need to sing it, huh? Everybody can hear me?
Yeah.
I'm kind of loud, huh? Okay, this is a little bit of a historical piece, you know, because there's this big thing with trying to keep blacks from voting. So anyway, you know, you'll see what I mean, right? Forward, reverse, backwards, about face pivot, inverse, reverse, adverse, the right to vote, churches, and chicken, fried chicken. Fried chicken, well done. Roasted. One
One right wing, please. Order coming up. The black vote excluded, erased, eliminated by reason of right-wing bigots and right-wing churches included. Order up, order ready, order to be served. Oh, sorry. No fried chicken wings today. Just chicken gizzards. Better yet, if you can count these jelly beans and tell me how many is in this jar, we'll give you the right to vote.
Oh, wow. Thank you. All right. Say sorry.
So it's a full moon, or was a full moon a couple nights ago. I wrote this poem a few moons ago. It's called Daytime Moon. Sighted at 3 o'clock. At this hour, a salt cracker. By midnight, vanilla ice cream. And who out there likes whales? I never really gave it any thought, but I ended up writing a whale poem. It's called Request to the Whale. You beast of myth, you beast of time, your journeys through the oceans are vaster than the moon flights. The barnacles on your hides are as bumpy as the decades, as coarse as history. I am unworthy to ride on your back. Please tell me one simple thing I might understand. Share with me one chapter of your voyages. Teach me one vowel of your language. All right, thanks so much.
Is anyone else who hasn't had a chance to read? Okay, I'm going to share one of mine, and then JJ wanted to, he didn't quite get to express himself the first time, so he wants a little bit more time. So anyway, I just wanted to, well, first of all, before I read this, next month, November 16th, we will have Abacha here, and Dorothy Dottie Payne will be here also. So please come out and participate in next month's. And also to let you know, due to the holidays, we won't be meeting in December. So just to let you know that ahead of time. So next month will be the last one of the year. So please. Anyway, Charles was reading a piece about voting, and I happen to have a poem about voting as well. So this is entitled Voting Black Blues. They assumed I was illiterate, just another old black Joe. But this year I've decided for the first time in my life that I finally want to vote. I want to take a chance to support the candidate who says they'll change doubt to hope. I'm ready to exercise the 15th Amendment rights my grandparents were denied because they couldn't guess how many jelly beans the glass jar held inside. They, like so many poor black folk, were stone broke, but rich with pride.
who had only wanted to vote at least once before they died. But they tell me now, like they were told, sorry, this polling site's closed. And since there are no others close by, the law says, sorry, we can't let you vote, though we might let you do so next time. Well, now it's time to stand up and fight and defend my civic and civil rights, despite getting the wrong around. I'll search all day and night for a drop-off box, though there's none on this side of town. Then I'll wait for the hottest hours on the longest of endless lines, where dispensing bottles of water will be a punishable crime. And if my name isn't on the list, they'll offer no provisional ballot to complete before closing time. No wonder I'm losing hope that these ivory towers that be will ever stop suppressing and start letting folks like me exercise our constitutional duty. Though the chances of that happening may be as slim as electing the best candidate or guessing the right number of jelly beans. Thank you all again. Thank Clara and the staff of Clarion. Thank all the poets, all the people who came to listen to the poets. And come back next month. We will have Avacha and Dottie Payne. Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon. I know you could be anywhere else, but you're here, and we really appreciate it. Thank you. Much love to everybody.